Welcome, friends, to episode 53 of Xbox Friends Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the Xbox success with bringing games to the other platforms. Xbox also announced Retro Classics coming to Game Pass, all tiers. And we have wave two of the games coming to Game Pass, which some of them are already on Game Pass, but some of them will come out within the next few days. So we'll go over the list in a few. With me, though, I'm your host, Verdugo, and with me, Maestro. What up, son?
What up? How's everything? How you doing? How's
Everything is
life?
good. Everything is good. Nothing new game wise. We'll get into that in a little bit. But everything is good. Not much going on
Nice.
in life. I had a 3 day weekend because of the Memorial Day. Uh, didn't play any games. Well, any new games, I would say. I did play a lot of Warzone. Um,
Nice.
yeah, we had a streak on Saturday, I believe. We played not all day, but maybe from like 3 p.m. and up until like, we took a break like at 8 maybe, and then we got back on. But on that day alone, I won 5 times.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yes,
And every time
sir.
I play, we never win.
Well, I wonder why,
Yeah.
Maestro. Come on. you, you just told on yourself right now. Yeah,
Man.
yeah. We it was a few of us. Shaw was there, Goku was there, and then Shaw's son played with us at night. We
Okay.
had a good
Well,
game. We had a good game.
so what you're saying is that you were playing a lot of bot lobbies, right?
No, we don't play with
Yeah.
that lobby. No,
Yeah.
I don't do the rank one, but I do play the regular one. There is a bot lobby. Uh, it's not all bots. It's like 50 people, and then the rest is AI. I don't know if you know about that.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. It's like a mixture
Yeah,
of half and
yeah.
half or
It's
whatever.
more for
Yeah.
like the new people coming in, so they don't just go and play against all the other players who've been playing for years.
All the
And
sweats.
yeah, so they could just go in and think that they're good at the game, or at least learn the game and maybe win 1 or 2 rounds before they go and play against us.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's a rough start. If you're starting now, I mean, I don't
Mm.
know who's starting now, but if you
Lots of
are, you're
people.
gonna have
It's
a
every
rough.
day someone's playing the game for the first time. Do they
Think
stick with
so?
it?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Especially if they play the normal mode and not the one that you're saying, like the one with the bots.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's good. I guess like somebody's turning into a teen, right? Or like kids are growing into something into online or something, right? Like there's gotta be new kids coming in.
Yeah, every day. I'm thinking every day
Yeah.
at least one person is playing the game for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway.
How about you? What'd you play?
Well, it's funny. I haven't played anything new yet. I'm still with uh Expedition 33.
Expedition.
Like I put so much time in it that I'm like, damn, might as well just go for the achievements and try to get it
Uh,
100%.
Incredible.
So yeah, I'm like 80, 90%, not like 85% done with all the achievements. And so yeah, at that point, I'm just like, okay, I spent a lot of time in here. It kind of same thing happened with like Elden Ring. I was like, there's so much time that I put into this now, and I've enjoyed my time here. I might as well go for the 1,000% achievements. Get everything. And so yeah, I'm working on that. So I'm like level. The characters can only go up to level 99. That's a max, as far as I know. And I'm at level like 87, 88.
Jeez.
So, oh,
99 is 3 times 33.
right.
Yeah. Expedition
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
33. Yeah. Which, by
There's
the
a
way,
lot of there's a lot of that.
Yeah, and just now, by coincidence, well, not now, but they did announce that 33 days in, since the game came out, they have sold 3.3 million
Mm,
copies.
nice,
Man, what a
nice.
coincidence! If,
Yeah,
being 33 everywhere.
yeah. And there's like little things like that throughout the game. There's this thing that's it's called Infinite Tower. It's not infinite, but you fight a group of
A bus
it's
rush.
like yeah, it's like exactly. And then you fight like a group of them, and then you go to like level three, whatever, 3.2, 3.1. So there are 11 levels and three faces to the 11 bosses. So it's 33 total, right?
Of course,
So that's
of
like the
course.
infinite. Uh,
It was gonna be 35, but they went like cut to.
yeah. So yeah, it's been a good. It's been really good. I've explored a lot of the map, and even though I'm like super high level, which is 80, almost 90, there's still areas that are pretty difficult, and I've gotten to some boss fights or some not even boss, but just some fights in general that have been pretty rough. It's been pretty hard. So it's been pretty good. And I that's what I like too, that it doesn't matter how good you get or how advanced you get, you're still having that
Uh,
that feeling that of accomplishment that you're actually battling. It's not like you're one hitting everything. So it's
that's
good.
cool. I mean, if you're enjoying the game, that's all. It's always what it's all about, enjoying the game.
Yep.
And if you enjoy it
Yeah.
so much that you want to get the all the achievements, and I'm pretty sure you'll do the same when the DLC comes out, because I do believe there is DLC planned, right?
I think so. I
Yeah.
heard, which I don't know. So with the DLC, I'm probably gonna like end the game right now and then wait for the DLC to come out to do the new game plus. Because I have an option now to do new game plus, but I just wanna, like maybe experience the new stuff in new game plus and go through it. But it's been great,
Are you
great
using a
experience so
guide
far.
to get all the achievements?
Only recently because some of them are very obscure.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's like you don't
Obviously.
know.
Nice pun.
But it's only yeah, yeah. It's only like two of them that I've had to kind of like look up. Not like Elden Ring. I had to consistently look up stuff like all the
Jeez.
time, over and over again. This is more I'll explore because the map isn't huge
No.
per se, and so it's easier to explore. It's like, have I been in here? And one thing about the map that if you've been there, then you can see the name of the place, or else it's not visible. So at least
Mm.
there's a way to track where you've been and where you haven't been. And so in those cases, I can say like, oh, I haven't been here, and then I'll just go and explore that area. But otherwise, yeah, it's not as ambiguous as its other games for the achievement. So I'm just kind of playing through it, making sure that I cover every little section, fight every boss, and then I'm pretty much in the last area now, the final area. And so it's very difficult though,
This is
but it's
playthrough
cool.
number what?
That was the first one.
Oh, you're still in. Oh man, I thought you had started another one to get everything else.
No,
Okay.
no.
Wow.
Yeah. So I haven't done any new game plus. I haven't done anything. Still, that's how I'm able to get. Now I've heard that if you do new game plus, you can level up quicker because your XP. The enemies are harder, but your XP it's a lot more, and so it's
You get
faster
more
for you to
XP. Yeah.
upgrade.
Huh.
Yeah. So, but I just haven't gone to that route, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do new game plus until a new content comes out, and so I'm gonna try to beat everything at the current playthrough, and then I'll do a new game plus from the
I,
new
I,
stuff.
I think you'll get it. I think you I
Yeah.
think you'll even get to 99. They'll probably
Oh yeah.
uh they'll probably make it to like one something, like they'll uncap it
Uh,
and do maybe
yeah,
another higher level.
maybe, maybe not. Or maybe
They
they'll do
gotta.
something how they. I know that Elden Ring that doesn't have, or maybe it does have, but it's like 999. It's pretty high up there. But in order for you to get to the DLC area, it had its own, not currency, but its own leveling system for that DLC area. I forget what it was, but it was like it has like
Oh
a different type
yes,
of way to upgrade. Uh,
I remember that. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
remember the
so
name for it, but yeah, I remember.
but yeah, maybe they could do something like that. But either way, just I really like the music in that game. The music is really, it's really good. It has this nice touch, right? And it's classical, but it's new. And even in the battle music, whenever you're in the midst of everything, it's just really really great music all around. So I'm really I'm in the final boss fight, which is a optional, but it is crazy difficult because the pairing, it's like so fast. So you have to kind of do it over and over again until you get the hang of it. I don't think you got in there because you beat the game, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
this is one other guy called Simon.
Oh, I've heard of. I was gonna ask you, is the name
Yeah,
Simon? Because I've heard of him. I don't think I
I
saw him because
no.
he's a
Well, you
side
wouldn't.
quest. So
Yeah, he's a side quest, and you have to be really high level to even get through that section of the map, or to like how you go into those like circles that's letting it's like a portal into
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
level.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the level itself, it's very difficult. Every even just basic enemy is super high powered and super high health. So it takes a while. I've gotten my character, one of my L, which is like the little girl. I got her. She's the highest level, and she's the highest hitting character that I have. If I buff her up and I do a bunch of stuff, I've gotten like 3.2 million in a single hit.
Yeah.
In a single hit, 3.2 million HP, like hit power. I was like, yo, but it has to be timed perfectly. There's a lot of things that have to
Yeah.
happen. She has to be in a specific stage. She has to
And
have the
the
specific
stance.
power ups and the stance. Yeah,
Yeah.
she has to be like very specific. Then you can get this massive, massive like hit. And even those, it still isn't enough to take out the guy Simon, which is crazy, bro. So I have to you'd have to survive his hits and then just kind of, chip at it little by little. And it's very, very hard. There's actually another enemy in the game, also another side quest. Super, super hard. I forget the name of the girl, but it's like a version of who you are, the little girl, a version of her.
Hmm.
Um, and she every time it's her turn, she heals 100%. So you have to find a way to not only skip her turn, so you have to buff your characters where they play more frequently, but also really high HP, because you have to be able to take her out in one hit essentially, or else she'll heal herself again
Oh my
if she
God.
takes a turn. So yeah,
Jeez.
it's you have to find your pigtoes, and you have to find all the little like things to make sure that it doesn't, you just kind of make it work. So it's cool.
Well,
It's good.
yeah, I mean, the game has its stuff, there's lots of things you can do in the
Yeah,
game, lots of side quests that I didn't do. And yeah, it's pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I really, really, really liked it.
yeah.
Any other
And
games
for
that
a
you play?
small team,
Yeah, 33
no, that
people.
I think for a small team and like small budget, I guess the art style is amazing. I don't
Yeah,
know
the
how
whole
they were able to pull it
package.
off, but yeah, everything was it's just really well done. And the music, I heard, from my understanding, I heard that the director was listening to like SoundCloud or something like that, and they found the guy or the person. I don't know if it's a guy or a woman, but they found the person to do the music because they were kind of like randomly listening to stuff in
Oh,
SoundCloud.
shoot.
So, so it's pretty cool. This is just a lot of like little things in there. But yeah, otherwise, what have I haven't gone back to anything else. I mean, besides Warzone, the few times that I linked up with you. But yeah, I have not gone to anything. I still have to. Uh, you kind of gave me the idea because I had started Doom, but then you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait till they add the
Yeah.
path uh,
It's in June.
racing." So yeah, so I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Let me just dedicate the time to this game, finish it all up. Then in June it's gonna be that, and we'll talk about the upcoming games also that I'm excited about. But yeah, so but otherwise, no, I haven't been playing anything else. You?
No, no, just my my regular Warzone, and that's it. That's
No
it. That's
Gears?
all I've been playing. No, no, no Gears lately, cause
No.
it's all the same. Like there's nothing new. Hey, every time you play the game, it's the same maps. They're not even
Yeah.
rotating the maps. There was a map that there's a map that I liked because it's the same map, right? But it had the lightning that will come down from time to time. So if you were in
Mm,
cover and you didn't move from there and it was gonna hit there, you die. So it would the lightning would at least make it so that the gameplay would be a little different each time because the lightning would make you move. But
yeah, yeah.
that's not in rotation anymore. So I don't know what they're doing over there. They're like, yeah, yeah, just leave it as is for 3 years. I just change it from time to
Uh,
time.
yeah, put things in rotation.
Yeah.
That's weird that they haven't really done much. Maybe because they've been focusing on that
Yeah,
remake or
I'm
whatever.
sure. Yeah, the remake and E Day. And the
Yeah.
remake, once the remake comes out, yeah, I'm going back, and you'll see me there probably every day till who knows when.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be now I'll be then going back and forth between Gears, what is it, Reload, or
Mhm.
and Warzone, and then whichever single player game I'll be playing.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I'll probably jump into it. It's been a while since I haven't played Gears, so well, Gears 1 rather. So it's gonna be good times.
Did you beat the campaign on that one?
On Gears 1?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
you
but
did.
in the 360 days,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
way back in the day.
yeah.
Yeah, I played 1, 2, and 3, and I played the whole thing through.
Yeah, I played
I
all
don't
of them.
remember much, but I played 1, 2, 3 straight through.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I can't wait to see the remake. They're gonna show it for sure on the in the showcase in June. They're gonna show gameplay. Can't wait.
for yeah, not E-Day. You're talking about the
No,
remake,
no, no, not
Reloaded
either.
or whatever. Yeah,
Once,
maybe they will. Maybe they will.
no, for either, no, I don't think so. We'll get into it next week, because next week we're gonna do the predictions to see what we think is gonna be shown, what could be Shadow Drop, hopefully
Mm,
something, who knows? But yeah,
mm,
we'll get into it next week and give our predictions for the showcase.
mm.
For now, though, let's get into the news. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is the Xbox success being a fourth party. And I say again fourth party because they're third party and first party, and that adds up to four because they have a console and they're putting their games on other platforms. So we're gonna look at the list here. Uh, this is the list of games, the top 20 best-selling games in April. We have at number one the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, then Forza Horizon 5, MLB The Show 25, Minecraft, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, WWE 2K25, NBA 2K25, PGA Tour 2K25, Monster Hunter Wild, Split Fiction, yeah, The Last of Us Part Two. Crazy that that's no, it's in the top 20.
Yeah,
EA, well, it's because of the show, but yeah. Uh, EA Sports FC 25, Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't think that ever left. That's never
that's
left the top
crazy,
20,
bro. I
right?
mean, that's even more crazy because it's been 13 years and that game's
Hmm.
still in the top 20.
And it's on
It
Game
used to be
Pass
in the
too.
top five for like 10 years. It was in the top
Forever,
five.
man. They keep selling, and this is the thing about GTA 6. They don't need to make it $100. They could sell it at
Yeah,
70 because they're gonna be selling it for years, and it's gonna be in the top 20
man.
for years.
I wonder how much money they've made so far.
Oh man.
Like how many billions of dollars they've made so far.
Well,
It's
they've
crazy.
sold over 50 million copies already, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
they had to because it's 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PC, PS3, 4, 5. It's like,
Mm.
uh, and probably it'll probably show up on Nintendo
On the
Switch too
Switch
as
too,
well. It's so,
probably.
so
Yeah. All
it's
right.
crazy.
Then we have Red Dead Redemption 2, which is another
Also
Rockstar game.
crazy. Yeah.
Hmm. The Elder Scrolls Online. I thought that was free. Elder Scrolls Online. It's not a free to play game.
I don't
I
know.
guess not.
I thought it was too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Elden
it's
Ring. Speak of the devil, your game.
yeah.
Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance and Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, I've been meaning to play that also. Kingdom
Kingdom
Come
Come?
2 Deliverance.
Mm.
Yeah, I heard it was really good.
You want to play that one or you want to play the first one first?
No, I think I would just jump into that one
Yeah,
because the first one was a long time ago.
it was a long
And
time ago.
so, yeah,
Mm.
so it's not even anywhere near the same. I hear that this is a pretty good game to just get into it.
So I'm here counting how
But
many
yeah,
games from Xbox or Microsoft are in the top 20. So we have one, two, three,
three,
four, five,
4, 5.
uh, oh, six. That's
That's it. Oh,
theirs.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 6 games out of the top 20, and most of them have been because they just came out on PS5, like Indiana Jones, Forza Horizon 5, Minecraft, and Elder Scrolls. Well, Minecraft, that game is another GTA. That game just keeps on selling.
Yeah.
um, yeah, so I mean, this is good. I mean, they were doing this without, not without, but nobody could really stop them from going first party, which is what they wanted to do. They wanted to put the games on PS5, Switch 2, wherever else they could put it. And seeing this is good because to me,
I
this
yeah.
I'm sure they're looking at this and they're going, "Yeah, we made the right choice. We did what
Mhm.
we needed to do, and that's gonna get us good for the future. Which means we're gonna be continue to get Xbox games because they have many good franchises, many good games, and so far they have quite a few games already announced, and some that we don't even know yet that they haven't announced that are gonna be coming out within the next year or two. And this
Yep.
makes it for them to be able to afford it and not go, oh, you know what? We're not even going to other platforms is gonna save us. So we're gonna have to one lay off developers, and then two not do just any of the games. So they may not do another Psychonauts. They may not do. I'm thinking of another franchise that they may just think and go. You know what? These games are not gonna sell well. So let's not do them anymore. They're just gonna be in the vault, and we're just gonna do the games that are really gonna make us money, like Forza Horizon, Halo, Gears, and we'll see what
Perfect
happens
Dark.
with Fable,
I'm
Perfect Dark.
I'm sure Perfect Dark. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So now
Hey,
that Perfect Dark and Fable, I'm sure they're gonna be they won on PS5 and good because that's how they're gonna get the most sales out of those. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
And ultimately, it's kind of what I was telling you, or what I've been saying for the last like couple of years, that if it's ultimately is good for the game. It's better for the game when everyone talks about it. Everyone can jump into it, regardless of what wherever you
Yeah,
want to go into, because the hype is created for everything. So the when Gears Reloaded comes out, that it's gonna be literally on every platform, and it may even be in Switch too. Who knows, right?
probably not.
I know they haven't said anything,
Yeah,
but maybe down the line or whatever. But
maybe.
launching across the board a multiplayer game like that, it's just gonna be like everybody's gonna talk about it, or everybody's gonna be talking about it, and everybody can jump into it. They're not gonna be pigeonholed to one side and be like, "Oh, I can't jump into it because of X. I don't have the console. I don't have this." And this is exactly what's detrimental to games that are exclusive to one platform, whichever side you go. Even in games that are only on PC, you're cutting a huge section of or audience, and the hype gets cut significantly. Look at Expedition 33, for example. The hype was massive for a turn-based game that really isn't the type of game that is popular, like a Fortnite or something like that.
Hmm.
But it's able to capture a good chunk of the audience, and everybody talked about it. Everybody could jump in. It was on Game Pass. It was on PlayStation. It was on Xbox. It was on PC. Everyone, it was just like, yeah, this is an awesome game, and we can all talk about the game and not talk about where is it not available, because that's what usually happens, right? When a game comes out and is only in one place, then the conversation is about why is it not here, rather than why is this game so good, or how is this game so good, right? And so that's the same thing that happened to Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy could have been that game that everybody would just love it and everybody would jump in, but then there was a disconnect between the PlayStation and the PC, and then it
Yeah.
eventually came out on PC, which didn't really do that well. But then, and then who knows if it's coming out on Xbox? You just split your whole audience across the board, and it's that the game didn't really meet expectations at that point, right? Because it, I mean, there are other factors in there too, um, but yeah, it's better when everybody gets to play it and everybody has the option to jump in.
Yeah, because I mean, the game could come out, and let's say, for example, Expedition 33 came out only on PS5. Everybody's talking about it. Yeah, it's great, and I'm looking at the videos. Oh man, I do want to play it, but it's not on Xbox yet. It's not on PC yet. By the time it comes out
Right.
on PC, I'm already excited about another game that's coming out at that time. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if this is gonna continue to happen because they gotta be seeing this that if you put a game only in one platform and then bring it out to another platform, in the case of this PS5 first and then PC a year later, you can see that you're not making the same kind of
Right.
sale. You might sell some, of course, because some
Right.
everybody there's always someone playing something new, or maybe someone was really excited waiting for that game to come out to PC or the Xbox. But it's not going to be
Mm-hmm.
the same as if you put it everywhere this same day one. um, like
Yeah, the
Stellar
hype
Blade.
is real.
Stellar
Yeah,
Blade.
Stella Blade. Yeah, whenever it comes to PC, I'm sure it'll sell, but it's not
I,
gonna be
I think that
as
one's going to sell more than the PS5. I think
on
it's going to
PC.
sell more.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but yeah, so we'll see. I mean, Final Fantasy 7 remake is coming out on Switch too. And I did say that
Right.
they're gonna bring out the second one to Switch too, and I don't know if the third one will be day and date with PS5. But they already, because they're seeing they're not selling as much. But if they put it in,
Yeah.
once they do the day one everywhere, they'll see the big difference it makes.
100%. And they can see, and I'm sure PlayStation's looking at their charts and they're like, "Holy crap, Microsoft is like the top five,
Yeah.
or like five games in the top 10 game, that we have in here. They have like 4 or 5 games in there, and you're like, man, this is crazy, right? And they don't. There's nothing like that that they have that they can sweep across everything, because they do staggering. It might do good here, and then by the time it comes out somewhere else, and yeah, maybe it'll do a little bit better or it'll do some sales, and then by the
Mhm.
time it goes to like Xbox or whatever it is, then the hype is already
Yeah.
passed. It's some will get it, but the reality is just not is not beneficial to the game. And I feel that m- Sony is going to be forced into releasing at the very minimum on PlayStation and PC day
NPC.
one together at the very minimum. But the hype of the game coming out everywhere at one time, that is undeniable. And if you're not on that train, you're gonna lose out on a lot of money.
Yeah, I think PS5 or Sony is hard headed, and they're not. It's gonna be a while before they do put the games on PS5 and PC at the same time. I can see them do it with multiplayer games, uh,
Yeah,
especially live service games, because they'll need the people to to be able to play the game and sell the I guess the skins or cosmetics or whatever they need to sell in there to make money. Uh, but going back to the list, Forza Horizon 5 alone is a 2021 uh, game, so
yeah,
4 years old. And I think what's happening with this too is that it's the first year that Xbox games are coming to PS5, and so people have been looking into it. Okay, what's this? Oh man, Xbox game coming to PS5? What kind of game is this? What kind of score did it get? Should I get it? What is
yeah.
it like? It's new to PS5 owners. We'll have to see how it does with the new games coming out, like Perfect Dark, where how many? When was the last Perfect Dark? Xbox 360, and I don't even
Yeah.
remember what year that was.
That was the launch title whenever
Okay,
the 360 launched.
so
Yeah.
imagine what's how many years is that? Like, what's that?
Was it
2006, right?
something like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 20
So
years
so
almost.
like 19 years, 19 years
Yeah.
from a bit since Perfect Dark came out, and it was a crappy game. I didn't like it.
Yeah. For the 360, I didn't like it either.
Yeah, no. But yeah, the future looks bright for Xbox with their games
And
being on every platform.
I think what also helps a little bit is the fact that there's really not, at least for Forza Horizon, there's really not anything like that in the market right now at this
No,
moment in time
not on
from
PS5.
any.
Well,
No, but yeah,
true,
from
true.
like there's not like EA is not really doing any, there's like out of the major publishers. No, there hasn't been like an arcadey kind of racing game
I miss
recently, at least
those.
not this year. Uh, and so this is something that's a little different, at least for that. And and if you really start to think about all the other stuff, okay, well, is Sony releasing any first person shooters? No, they don't have
No.
anything, and they haven't had anything in years. So Call of Duty is the de facto first-person shooter in that console. So of course it's gonna sell like crazy. But then also, do they have any? Does PlayStation make any fantasy games? Like, no, they haven't. They don't do it. I guess God of War would be considered fantasy,
Yeah,
but
but
that they haven't made a God of War in how many years now, right? And
like
so they don't really
3 or 4
have
now.
many games, at least at the moment. Maybe down the pipeline, but this year they haven't really had. Oh,
No.
maybe Astrobot. That came out this year or last year?
Yeah, but
No, that
that's
came
a
out last year.
platformer, and we don't have that. I mean, Psychonauts too, but that came out on PS5.
Yeah. So there's just not a lot of variety of games right now in the PlayStation platform, and Microsoft is providing that variety. Yeah, funny
Hmm.
enough, and so, but I honestly think with this whole thing, I can see this is I mean, this is super, super high, like conspiracy theory, but
Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me
I
put up
can,
my hat.
yeah, don't say that. But I can see them doing all of this and just saying, "Hey, we're gonna open up our consoles. It's gonna run every store. Every store is welcome. Epic, whatever it is." And I think I mentioned this before too.
Yeah.
And so once they've they've opened everything up and they're releasing things everywhere, and then they can go to the regulators and be like, "Hey, listen, we're trying to get Game Pass here on PlayStation, but they're blocking us from doing that." But yet we open up everything. We sell everything everywhere.
Yeah,
We didn't go back on our word.
yeah. They'll
You
go like,
know,
oh yeah,
we said
PlayStation could put their store on our Xbox if they want to. I mean, we're open.
right, right. And it's like we didn't, we didn't do what you thought we were going to do, which is buy all these companies and make our platform exclusive. No, we actually
Hmm.
opened it up even more. We took our exclusive games and then we put
Hmm.
everywhere. So now,
Not just the
how did
new
the
ones, but the old ones too.
yeah, and everything, and then how does a regulator say at that point, like, crap? Yeah, you. How do you block that, right? How do you not tell the entire everyone saying, "Hey, open up your system," and they've already done it with Apple.
I was
They've
gonna,
already forced Apple to
I was
open
gonna
up their
mention that.
store and do
And if they could
yeah,
do it,
and
then
so
it's a better chance now for Xbox to be able to do it for PS5. Because if
right,
Epic was able to do it, I mean, Apple didn't want to, but they were
not at
forced to.
all. Exactly,
And if
and that's what
Xbox
I'm
could get the
saying,
regulators to force Sony to do it, then that's a
right,
big win.
dude? That would be crazy because imagine you have Game Pass on PlayStation, on PC, on Xbox, and even on Switch, right? Because that would force everybody to open up their systems.
Yeah.
That would be massive. And why would you not sign up to Game Pass on PlayStation? Why would you not sign up? There's just no there is no way if you're like a real gamer, there's no way you're not signing up to Game Pass. There's just a variety. There's so many games and so many things and so many good
Well,
stuff.
so it's gonna be a little different if Game Pass were on PS5. You'll be able to play natively the games that come out on PS5 from Xbox. But the other games, the more than 100 games that they have in there, you'll have to play on cloud. Because,
No, but that's not
but
nah, bro. Like right now, all the games are like they're releasing on PlayStation, first of all,
yes, I
right?
understand. But
And what games would you say is a cloud-based game that is not available
yeah, but
on
that's what I'm saying.
PlayStation?
Like, I don't know if that's, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens when that day comes because that's the way I'm thinking. Maybe Sony will say, you know what, Game Pass could be on there, fine, but they're not gonna be able to play or not. I don't know. Like, that's just the way I'm thinking it's gonna be. Like, you'll be able to play the Xbox game natively because they're releasing those games now on the PS5. But the other games, although yes, they're on PS5 as well, I just
Right.
like that's one of the restrictions that I'm thinking is gonna happen, where they won't be able to play the other games natively. They'll have to, stream it from the cloud. I don't know why I'm
No, but
thinking
I
like
don't
that, but it,
why like the only games that if you really think about it, are not available on PlayStation were Microsoft games historically, right? Like
right.
those games in Game Pass, those were the only games that were not available anywhere else, only on PC and on Xbox. Were Microsoft games. All the other games, all the other third party games, and all that stuff is available everywhere. They're not locked down
No,
to
I know that. I
Xbox
know that.
only.
I know that. It's
So
just that I'm
why?
I'm thinking like I don't know why. Maybe
And
I'm
then
being
and then
negative.
if you and then is if you're allowed if you do allowed if they're forced to allow all these other services, why would it only allow streaming and not downloadable content? It, how could you make that distinction? Like, okay, we allow this, but only the streaming versions, not the download. Like, how to legally? I don't know the mental gymnastics that you need to do to be able to, to have that.
I think they could do it. They'll just for those games they'll just take away the button to install it and just have the button to stream it. I don't know.
Nah,
That's
but yeah, I don't see that happening. I
uh,
think that it's almost like because that's not the case with currently what's happening with Apple. They're not saying, "Oh, you can only stream like Fortnite." Like, no, you can download the game. You can everything is accessible. and you can redirect people to a different payment system, right? And I think that that is the ultimate end goal. That if if hypothetically, if they allow all the stores to be open everywhere, right, and then they have this ammunition to go to the regulators and say, hey, you need to force everybody to open up their store, then they would get 100% of
Mm-hmm.
those sales. They would get
Yeah.
100% of like Game Pass subscriptions if they allow that. Like, but just in the sales only, right? Look at that. The top or the top 10 games, five of them or half of them are Microsoft games. Imagine selling all of that and then getting 100% because now you don't have to share the 30% with PlayStation. That's that's a big that's a big like uh tool that you have in your tool set. And if they can force that and they tell the regulators, look, we're opening everything up ourselves. You gotta let us you gotta allow us to open up, or you have to force everybody to open up, right? We're setting the example. And that would be crazy. That would have to force PlayStation to put their games on Xbox because now they'll
Yeah.
have a store. But yeah, sure, they'll get 100% of that because they have to set up a store. But now you're not relying on the 30% from Call of Duty, 30% from
Yeah.
Minecraft, 30% from all these other games. Now you have to really output content yourself and sell that content. So yeah, it's interesting, and I wonder if
Was
that's their end game. You know?
of course. Come on. They're they're a company. Their
Yeah,
goal is to
they're the
make
one
the
to make
most
money,
money they can.
right?
All right, so we'll see when that happens. But right now, again, it's looking good. Keep putting those games out. I can't
Yeah,
say
bro.
nothing else anymore. I gave in. I'm fine with it. Just give me the games and
That's all that matters.
keep putting them on Game Pass, which I'm hoping they never go back on it, saying no. You know what? First party games will not go on Game Pass day one. Blah 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 blah. No no no. Keep that and keep
Yep.
getting us the great games we're getting on Game Pass too from third parties, which we'll get to
Yep.
in a little bit. Um, so Xbox also announced Retro Classics, and
Yeah.
this is coming from IGN from Wesley Yimpel. I'm gonna read here. Microsoft has announced Retro Classics with Game Pass, a collaboration with Antstream Arcade to bring a collection of over 50 classic Activision games from the 80s and 90s to Game Pass members. The list includes the likes of Commando, Grand Prix, Kaboom, MechWarrior 2, 31st Century Combat, and Pitfall. Some of the games go back 45 years. Players can even save their progress and continue later at first from any of these games. Microsoft said Retro Classics with Game Pass is a step in our commitment to game preservation and backwards compatibility. Retro Classics will be available to all Game Pass memberships options in the region where Game Pass is currently available. Um, okay, so platform selections or sections include Atari 2600, DOS, and Amiga. It's worth noting that there is a PlayStation 1 section of Retro Classics, which currently
Yeah.
includes MechWarrior 2, 31st Century Combat, MechWarrior. Wait, did they put that? Oh, okay, it's the same game. Okay.
It looks like
So, yeah, MechWarrior 2 was developed and published by Activision in 1995 on PC before coming to PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn in 1997. The only game in the SNES section is 1993's MechWarrior. Now, over time, Microsoft will add more classic games from Activision and Blizzard's back catalog to Game Pass, expanding the Retro Classics collection to over 100 games. Expect additional games to be added monthly. Now, you did say you did try this, and I'll say my part real quick because I did open up the app, but I didn't start any game
mm.
because old game is old, especially
Yeah, there.
from these like 19.
I mean, those,
Oh my god.
some of
The
those games are before
graphics?
bored.
And the
So
graphics, man, come on.
well, but it's you see, I think that they did a really cool job though because they could have just been like, okay, here it is, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
But they added safe, which
Hmm.
that didn't exist back then.
Yep.
They added if you actually open up a game, you can remap uh like
Buttons.
button remapping. So you can
Yeah, because
choose
the
whether you want to
controllers
be a
are different
controller
now. Yeah.
or keyboard. But you can choose whether you want to be a controller and keyboard, right?
Nice.
That again, that was not a thing back then, right? And they also added like a fun little thing where you every day there's new challenges you can beat. There's like a leaderboards, daily leaderboards
Yeah.
where you beat someone else's score and then you get points for it and you can use those points to like open up avatars or open up like different photos and different things in the game or in the it's it's kind of like a platform within a platform kind of thing.
Yeah. So
Um,
let me just
because
so sorry. Let me just read this real quick because you did mention that part that I did leave out. This is coming from Xbox. Additionally, players can take on friends, rivals, and the entire world with unique challenges. For the achievement hunters, there are some great new ones to collect, and for newer players, the ability to save and reload your progress, a first for many of these classics. Yeah, so challenges and leaderboards is what you're talking about. Sorry, go ahead.
right. Yeah, no, and that's like that's what I like about this because they could have just put it out there and not really done much to it. And but they actually put some thought into it. They put some fun aspect to it that actually makes you want to, even though they're really old and crappy looking, it makes you want to try different things because there's a purpose to maybe you want to beat your friend's score, or maybe you want to be part of the daily challenge or whatever. And I think it's really cool the game preservation stuff too, because a lot of these games, y it's in your head. You're like, you see it, and you're like, damn, this is we've gone so far in a
Very far.
relatively short amount of time, relative,
Yeah.
right? Because you can see the Atari and then the DOS and then the PlayStation, and you can see the graphical leaps that happen in every decade, I guess, at
Yeah.
that time.
It's crazy.
And you just to kind of visually sit there and it was even just there's no menu in a lot of those, or there was no menu in a lot of those games. You just hit start and that's it. That you just went into the game. There was no options. There was nothing in that time. And so seeing that is it's really interesting. And there were a lot of games in early Nintendo that I never got to play. Like I never got to play most of the games that are in this service because either they were out before I was born, or by the time I actually got into a console or PC, it was way after that, right? And so I never got to play. I would say I never got to play any of the ones that I've tried so
I
far.
I don't think I've played any of them at all. I don't know.
And
I'll
yeah,
have to look through the list again.
but and it's really cool to see that there are a couple of things I didn't like about the way the service is set up. Like, for example, if you click on a game, there's still it's like streaming to you, so there's still a loading time for you to get into the game. So when you click on the game, it says like loading because it's tapping the server and it's waiting for that connection and all that stuff in the
Okay,
back
I did
end.
that
But
part. I didn't know. I didn't know if you could download the game, or if the game,
you cannot.
or maybe the whole thing. Once you install the app itself will have the game already installed in there. Because they're gonna be
No,
what, megabytes per game?
not even. They're probably kilobytes to be honest.
Yo.
At that time. But yeah, all of it is streaming.
Okay.
Nothing is downloadable.
Hmm.
So that's the one thing that's annoying because I went into like Atari section and oh, let me play this game. It's not a crazy amount of time. It's only like 5 seconds, but still, it's it's weird, right? Because you're looking at this game and it's probably like 5 kilobytes for that game, and then you're sitting there for 5 seconds. What's the holdup? Why is there loading in here? But I do like that they filter it, right, and so you see
Oh,
it says
checkers.
Activision, Super Nintendo.
I might play
Yeah.
that checkers. The, do they have
um,
multiplayer? Can you play online?
I haven't checked. I don't know. I don't think they have, but I can't confirm for sure. I haven't tried anything. Um, but if the game has back in the days you had 1 or 2 players. If the game has 2 players, I would assume that maybe they can make that work because you're tapping into a server. You're not
Yeah.
actually playing it locally on your Xbox.
Man, I was gonna tell you, let's try that. Checkers, play that online.
I would try it. We could
Yeah.
try it after this to see, see if there is any online. I don't know if there
Yeah,
is,
we could
but
try and see. I gotta install it.
yeah,
But this, talking about this now is giving me an idea. And the only way I would boot up a game and play it is if you tell me, yo, I played this game and I get this high score. I bet you can't beat it. And I'll go in just to try
a
it to see,
challenge.
if, yeah,
Yeah,
like a challenge. And then I'll go like, yeah, challenge accepted. And I'll go in and
yeah,
try and beat it. But other than that, I don't see myself really playing these games because again, they're old games. It's
right.
again, it's good, yes, that they did that, especially with the added stuff that they put into it. But I wonder who's gonna really be playing these games instead of the new ones, or maybe even newer ones from
Right.
because this go way back. This is back to the beginning of time, basically
Yeah.
for games.
Yeah, to get these games, yeah.
So I wonder who this is for. But again, all is good because it's more options that you have. Now you want to see you're a kid right now playing Fortnite and playing Roblox, and it's the only games you've seen. You've never even played a game that came out 20 years ago. Let's say on maybe
Yeah,
PS3, and you want to see somehow you're in your head you're thinking, oh man, my dad is over 40 years old and he's played all these games. Let me go back and see. Although these are not the games that I play. So
right.
if my daughter were to tell me, hey, I want to see the games that you started with. Can I see what was the first game you ever played? Let me see it. Uh, that's gonna be a win because it's gonna be Mario, the first Mario
Mhm.
on the Nintendo. Um, but I wouldn't want her to go and think, oh, this is the kinds of game he played because she's not gonna have a good experience with these games. Being even with the added stuff, they're still old. So I wouldn't want that. But they're there if you
Yeah,
do want
but
to go back in history and see, the first few games that came out.
okay, but think about this for a second, right? So we're looking at this thing that launched this week, right?
Hmm.
And those games are considered retro. But within the next 10 years, 90s and 2000s are going to be retro, right? So
I
you're
mean,
looking
they're
at
they're
a
in the '90s
lot of
already with
games.
PlayStation, with PlayStation One. That came out what 1990? No, not 99. When did that?
PlayStation
94?
1?
Yeah,
No,
PlayStation.
yeah, it was like 94, 95,
Yeah.
somewhere
So
around
they're
there.
already in the '90s. Within the next 10
Right.
years, they're gonna go into the 2000.
Bro, look at the games. So I just looked it up really quick. I'm on Activision game list from 2000 to 2009. And you have games like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. You have X-Men Mutant Academy. You have Spider-Man that came out in
Mm.
2000, September 1. Oh, September 1st. You have a bunch of other. You have Blade, Sky Odyssey, and Toy Story Racer. I mean, that's not. But you have Matt Hoffman BMX. I used to play that a
Oh
lot too.
yeah,
Two
yeah, I
thousand
played that
and
too.
one. Like that came in 2001. That's now considered probably soon retro
Yeah.
if you think about it. So this library of Activision is crazy big,
Yeah,
especially
and on
considering
many systems too, not just
right,
like we see right now, PlayStation and Super Nintendo. So
right. And so imagine the things that are gonna be added or hopefully added, right? And so all the games, all that library from the 70s, oh wait, was it the 70s, the 80s and 90s, it's a pretty substantial library that they made. And so they can start even adding like a Bandicoot, right? Crash.
Crash
Because the
Bandicoot, yeah,
first one came out in
that's on
like
PlayStation,
95,
PlayStation One.
96.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be coming
Uh,
soon, probably to this.
so it's really cool to see that and just kind of I wish there's only a couple of things that I wish it worked better. I like the layout and I like everything the way it looks, but I wish it was incorporated into Game Pass, not like a separate app that you have to download and go into it. I wish that if I went into like the dashboard and I go to Game Pass, there was like a little subsection of like retro or something like that, right?
Yeah, I
That
see
would
what you
be
mean,
ideal.
but I think this is. I mean, from what I've seen, I think this is fine. I see what you mean, but then you're gonna have so many games in one section, and then another section will be some other games. What they want to do is have all the retro classics in one place. So I get
But
why they did this app.
think about like Xbox Live Arcade. Remember that?
Yeah, I
That
remember.
was like its own section, but it was built into the
Oh
dashboard.
yeah. Okay, that it
It
makes
was like
sense now.
it was a different blade, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Dang.
that's what I'm saying. Like I would rather to be built in. Like I don't want to have to open up an app just so I can go to the game, and so I would have to go through layers. I have to open up the app, then I have to navigate to the game, and then open up the game. But if I could just have it within that dashboard, it's just a little section. Because right now, if you go into the Game Pass, at least on PC, but yeah, and Xbox too. If you go and click on the Game Pass section, it shows you all the games, and then it also shows you you can start streaming this without having to download the game.
Yeah.
And so if they can just make a distinction in the UI where, okay, these are all the arcade games or retro games, and then these are all the regular Game Pass game, just kind of like a different tab or a different section that I don't have to open up something else and be incorporated into everything. Because it even has achievements.
Yeah.
So it already has that. So it'll be kind of nice to be able to just kind of unify it a little.
Well, I'm sure they're gonna listen to feedback and update the app to make it better, or maybe do some
Yeah.
changes, things like that. But
Oh,
yeah,
I forgot to say, there's another thing in there too. So you saw that what is it, Ant Arcade or whatever, and whatever that other service that you mentioned in the article. There's
uh,
another service that's actually built into that service. You can log in from the app. So there's another service. It's called Ant something, Ant Stream or Ant Games or something like that. That you basically it's only also
and
streaming, but it's
stream.
like a end stream, yeah.
Uh,
But that's a website that's a retro gaming website. It has like hundreds or thousands of games only for retro gaming. So they've incorporated that into like you can log in and then see that in the library of the retro gaming on Xbox or the app. So you can link it essentially, and then you can see the library there as well.
well,
So it's interesting. It's a lot of it's a cool idea, right? That you have a hub for everything old school and also everything new school and a bunch of other stores, kind of like we mentioned, potentially having the ability to have all these other stores. If they can just unify that all in one box, I think it would be kind of worth the Xbox at that point, like
yeah.
really worth it because you can have everything in one place
And think
and
about it, man.
cleanly set.
Did they have to do this? Was anybody asking for this? Nope. They did it
Mm-mm.
to add more either. Well,
Right.
not either, but to add a value to the Xbox brand and Game
Yeah.
Pass. And preservation, like they said. I mean, it's not that you can download these games. It's still streaming. It could go away
Right.
anytime. But they're trying and they're doing things that
Yeah.
nobody else is doing.
And that's right
PlayStation.
now.
Huh?
And that's right now. Maybe, in the future they'd be like, okay, you can download them now. If you just have to have like a
Yeah.
layer for like a translation layer for emulation or something like that, right?
Okay.
But
I don't know if you remember this or if you've heard of this, but did you know that you can install emulators on the Xbox Series X and S? Okay.
yes,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
possible they could do this in the future where they could add an emulator to the console. And PC is going to be easy to do. I'm sure there's already emulators for all of this out there. They just need to put it in, someplace in Game Pass so you can launch that emulator and play the games through there. Same
yeah.
thing on the consoles, which we know already it can be done. So maybe they'll do that in the future. So you don't have to stream it. You could just
Right.
play it natively.
I think that the way to do that, at least on PC, when they can probably introduce that on the console side as well, is through the extensions. You know how you have to download like an extension for like EA
Yeah,
or
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft,
Yeah,
right? You have to download these extensions. So if you download it, it would have to be built into the app. It has
right.
to be built into. It has to be easy. Yeah, I don't want to have to look around for emulators. I mean, I know how it works, but not everybody's gonna want to do that, right? And so go on GitHub and try to download all this other stuff. It gets a little messy.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I think um they'll do it so that when you launch the game, it will launch with the emulator. You don't have to go and look for the emulator to then look for the game to
right,
launch the game in the emulator. That's not console like. Console is ease of use.
right,
they cannot think that they're gonna do something like that on the Xbox or the console and everybody's gonna use it because PC players are different. They know they gotta do a couple of things, not to play the games, but if, for example, as you said, if you want to play an EA game and you buy it through Steam, you'll need the EA launcher. You can't just buy it on Steam and play it. Once you launch it, it's gonna ask you, "Hey, do you have this launcher? You don't? Okay, you need to download it. Okay, now that you downloaded it, do you have a profile? No,
yeah,
you don't. Okay, you need to
yeah,
make one. Like it's if you get it on the Xbox, you play it out of the.
right,
I'm gonna say out of the box, but you know what I mean. But
all
yeah,
right,
they cannot do this, then that, then this. Then, no, they cannot do that on the console.
right. I although what I do like about at least in the well, I think PlayStation is the same thing. Xbox, everybody does the same. You can when you launch like Epic or launch Steam or whatever other store, you can sign in with your Xbox account. So you don't have to
Yeah.
technically create a whole other profile, but
Right.
it
Right.
links
Right.
everything in the back end and
Yeah.
it just kind of works better out of the box. But ultimately, it would be super, super cool if they had a built-in emulator into the Xbox app, right? And so if you
Mm,
launch that app on the console, if you launch that app, which is automatically running
on the console. Yeah.
the dashboard, right,
Yeah.
on the console. But if you launch it on the Xbox, or sorry, if you launch it on the PC, it just has the emulator built in. It has all the stuff built in. You don't have to worry about any figuring out which emulator works best, which does this better, and it just kind of works out of the box. That would be super ideal because that way, if you have something like the ROG Ally or you have any other handheld, you just got to launch the Xbox app. That's it. You don't have to do anything in those consoles. It just automatically works across the board. And in the future, hypothetically, if they allow uh, Game Pass or even all this stuff on PlayStation, you just open up the Xbox app and you have exactly the same UI, the same everything that
Yeah.
it works across the board on any other
Yeah. You don't
place.
have to learn a new UI to
Yeah,
launch or play any games that you want to play that you will play on your console. So everything will be all the same.
yeah, oh, ideal.
Hmm. That's the future. All right, so let's get into the last story here. It's just the Game Pass games that are coming. Well, the games that are coming to Game Pass for the remainder of this month. Uh, Already added is Monster Train 2, Creatures of Ava, Senua's Hellblade 2. That's going to Game Pass Standard. Stalker 2 is
Oh,
also
okay.
going to Standard. Tales of Kenzera Zao, The Division 2, which was already um wasn't it? No, that's Ubisoft. Wasn't that already on? No, it wasn't on Game Pass, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
It
guess
might have
I'm
been at
thinking
one
about it because
point.
I bought it.
I bought it too. It
Maybe,
was like
yeah,
$2.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
now it's
remember
gonna be
that.
on Game Pass. So then 2
Which they
AT,
uh they
huh?
they did an update, right? Didn't they do like new DLC or something like
Yeah,
that? They
I
added
think that's
Brooklyn.
coming out in a few days.
Mm.
Yeah. So 2 AT, Metaphor Refantasio coming to Game Pass
Yeah.
May 29th. 2 AT is tomorrow. Spray Paint Simulator May 29th. Crypt Custodian June 3rd. And Symphonia June 3rd. Didn't I tell you to wait
Damn.
for Metaphor? Told you to wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
it sucks because Game Pass does make me think that way most of the time. When a game comes out and I have a little bit, at least a little bit of interest for it, but I
Yeah.
can't afford it. I do most of the time think, it could come to Game Pass one day,
Right. Yeah.
and this one did. And you know what? I might give it a try.
Oh
You know why?
snap!
Because of Expedition 33. I
You like
really,
that? Yeah.
really, really, I hadn't finished an RPG in I don't know how long, and I finished 33. So I
Yeah.
will give this one a try. I don't know if I'll stick with it because this one, I know you got to read a lot, and there's no voice acting in this one, right?
I don't know. I think there is.
I'll
I'm
give it a
pretty
try no
sure
matter
there's,
what.
but yeah.
I'm not gonna research or anything. I'm just gonna go in and give it a try and see how far I get.
Yeah, boy.
You
I'm excited
you
about that one
you
too.
bought it. You haven't
I
started it,
bought
right?
it.
You,
I bought it. I haven't started. Yeah, it's
did you at least look at
that's
the menu?
yeah. I
You did
did boot
okay,
it
at
up
least. At
for
least.
the menu, but no, I did not start the game, which kind of sucks. But I guess kind of what you said is true. You
Mhm.
do become hesitant, but that's how good the service is that you're like, damn, this service is so good. They put so many good games in there that it makes you think twice about it. Because if it was something where it was a crappy service, you wouldn't think that this game might be on there ever, right?
And
You just
it's funny because we didn't think about it because they put Persona 3 in here in Game Pass
yeah,
and Persona 5, right?
yep, yeah,
So
both,
you would have thought they would go ahead and put Metaphor in here someday.
yeah. It's kind of like so this is the second time I do that because the first time uh I did it with EA, and you told me about it too.
Uh,
Because you were like, the Mass
uh,
Effect remaster, and you're like, yo, but that's coming out on Game Pass because it's
yeah,
EA. They always
EA
fit,
Play.
and I was like, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. But then I ended up buying it anyway. But either way, I mean, it doesn't matter because I really like that game anyway. That was one of my favorite sci-fi games
Yeah.
growing up. So I really enjoyed the whole thing. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't hurt to have it all the time available because I'm sure. Well, maybe not, but do they remove games from EA Play or do they
No.
just stay there once they add it?
I think they stay there once they're put
Yeah.
into EA Play. Um,
Okay.
I think Ubisoft, well, Ubisoft is not on Game Pass, but they do have some games that are not, because they do have the U Play something, where you pay, I
Right.
think, $17 or $18 a month and you play the games,
Yeah.
but not all the games. So I don't know.
Right. Right.
They have
Right.
some tiers. I don't know how that works.
I know that they have a
Um,
tier for if you a new game, and then one's for like the older stuff. But I don't know also if in that service if they remove them over time,
I don't know
because
neither.
there are other service that even like PlayStation service, even though they have first party games, that they remove them over time, first party games from
That's true. Yeah,
uh
from the
their online
PlayStation
service,
Plus.
right?
Uh,
So there's some services that do remove them. I know Game Pass doesn't as of right now. They never
not
remove
first
first party,
party,
but
but they do for third parties. Yeah.
yeah, but but some games is weird because some games they stay there a really long time, like years, that are
Mm.
third party.
Mm-hmm.
And so some are removed within 6 months to a year, but some of the games they just keep renewing them and just stay there
And some
the whole
games come
time.
back. They leave and come
Some
back.
games, yeah. Also, yeah, a lot of those actually. Well, especially Rockstar games, they
Yeah.
tend to leave and come
Yeah.
back.
GTA 5 was there a couple of years ago, and it's now back.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess this is it then for today's episode. So, anything else you wanted to say or talk about?
No, no, I think we cover all of it so far.
All right. Well, if you like
Cover a
this,
lot.
subscribe and follow and give it a like and all of those things that kids say nowadays. But that's it for this week's episode, friends. So, till next time, be good gamers.
Peace.